How's it going, everyone? This is Boots with Snapkeep Arcade, back with another new player's guide to the multiverse. This week, we'll be going over my favorite Planeswalker, Vraska. Vraska is a black and green aligned Gorgon Planeswalker assassin from Ravnica. She is part of a mercenary organization known as the Assassins of the Okran. This mysterious planeswalker wields a suite of deadly spells that suit her Gorgon nature. She specializes in magic that involves assassination, stealth, and petrification. Vraska's life had been fairly simple in the Undercity, as part of the Golgari swarm. However, on a world such as Ravnica, even a simple life can be destroyed by politics. The Azorius Senate issued a writ of mass arrest for any and all members caught bearing allegiance to the Golgari. Vraska was amongst those apprehended, and they were taken to an Azorius detention compound, the place where all victims of the writ had been imprisoned. Unfortunately, the cells quickly filled beyond capacity, and, vastly outnumbered by their prisoners, the Azorius were swept under the tide of a prison riot. Vraska and her fellow inmates were quickly ferried away to a secure location while much of the riot continued, but in the tight confines of the basement, they were trapped. Hours passed and tensions grew thick, the guards becoming nervous and abusive. Soon enough, the prisoners had taken enough from their callous jailers. Many of the Golgari captives worked together and freed Vraska, but realizing the threat, the guards quickly turned their attentions to her. She was severely beaten and lay near death when her spark ignited, throwing her away from the world she knew. She lay in the darkness, unable to understand what had happened, and much time passed before she learned to control her abilities. 2 years after her disappearance, she returned to Ravnica. In her travels, she had learned an important lesson. A person should die the death they deserve. She began gathering followers in her quest to bring justice to those she felt deserved her retribution. Many died in her name, all deaths thematically linked to how they lived their lives. Amongst her many victims and those of her followers, there was always a special place for the Azorius. Slowly, she sought justice against those who had a hand in the riot, the guards, the arbiters, any who were connected to it in any way. In between her missions of bloody vengeance, she had become something of a shadowy urban legend among the Golgari. She only surfaced when something stirred her interest, the exact reasoning a mystery to all involved. She chose her missions carefully and stayed away from the guild politics. Her activities had begun to gain notoriety even outside the Undercity, and her targets died swiftly once she committed herself. After Vraska completes a mission, she disappears back into the ether, taking her expertise to other planes to gain experience and add to her ever-growing collection of trophies. Vraska attempted to force Jace Beleren into her service. She gathered citizens of Ravnica whose names would be known only to a planeswalker and arranged them to spell Jace's name. It forced him into a confrontation with the assassin, and she used various threats and attempts at coercion to bring him under her sway. Jace ultimately escaped her clutches and shone light onto her existence, possibly undoing everything she had tried to accomplish. It's unclear if she'll ever be able to return to the shadows. In this time, she contacted the disenfranchised among the Golgari to rally them against Gerard and his elves. Recently, an agent of Bolas placed a note in the House of Okran that invited Vraska to the meditation plane. Here, Nicol Bolas offered to make her the guild master of the Golgari and bring those to justice that preyed on the downtrodden. Bolas tasked her with traveling to Ixalan and retrieving the items stored in the golden city of Vraska, giving it to one of his agents. To aid her in this, Bolas gifted Vraska with a thematic compass and the knowledge of sailing. On Ixalan, Vraska posed as a member of the Brazen Coalition, serving a Lord Nicholas. Assembling her crew and her own ship named the Belligerent, she turned out to be a very democratic leader, which earned her a great deal of respect and admiration from her crew. Guided by the compass, her ship found the shipwrecked Jace. Seeing that he had no memory of who he was due to his defeat at the hands of Nicol Bolas, she spared him. Using Jace's powers as an illusionist, she plundered ships of the Legion of Dusk. Slowly, Vraska and Jace began to develop a new relationship, based on a sense of respect and attraction. After the Golden City revealed itself, Vraska and Jace fell in its churning waters. To Vraska's horror, the shock from this event caused Jace's memories to return, his telepathic powers causing her to witness every single memory that returned to him. Vraska was filled with fear that Jace's memories would reignite their enmity, but Jace instead forgave Vraska for her past transgressions against him. Their friendship even stronger, they struggled on to Vraska, where they unexpectedly were confronted by a legend of their own home plane, Azor the Lawbringer, founder of the Azorius Senate. Azor was protecting the immortal sun, the artifact that prevented planeswalkers from leaving Ixalan, the very item Bolas sent Vraska to retrieve. Realizing that Nicol Bolas would learn about her love for Jace if he would read her mind, Vraska asked Jace to remove all her memories of him. Jace implanted a trigger to reinstall her memories at the right moment, planning to defeat Bolas together. After this, Vraska summoned Tezzeret, who removed the immortal sun from the plane using his planar bridge. Having removed the planar barrier, Vraska planeswalked away. In Bolas's meditation plane, the dragon read her mind and witnessed the false memory created by Jace, in which Vraska had found Azor and turned him, along with all her challengers, into gold using the power of the sun. Pleased, the dragon called her guild leader Vraska and rewarded her with the information where Gerard was imprisoned. As Vraska set out to petrify Gerard, she couldn't help but feel that both she and Bolas missed something very important during their meeting. If you like this video, please subscribe to Snapkeep Arcade and hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload a new video. This has been Boots with Snapkeep Arcade. Thanks for watching.